heard about the new educational program in Brazil High School. I think it's called the New Generation School. I heard about it quite some time now. What do you guys know about the NGS?
For me, I know that NGS is a recent educational reform in Cambodia that aims to provide high quality education for students.
Yes, I am familiar with that term as well, and it's also about developing student cognitive competencies. It's like it STEMs, ICT or critical thinking, and also focus on developing student inter and interpersonal skill competency as well.
To add more in terms of the STEM area, the NGS also provide the subject matter for the students like mathematics, physics, biology, and chemistry.
The NGS program also provides some extracurricular activities to engage students' various interests such as guitar clubs, board games, sport clubs, gymnastics, martial arts, and dance classes.
So how many new generation or NGS school are there in Cambodia right now?
Based on what I have researched, there are total 11 NGS schools across our country. Although they are state school, but students have the option to pay for the tuition fee for the morning and evening shift in order to access for practical laboratory and science.
Yes, and for each class in the NGS system, they only limited to 32 to 36 students to ensure the quality in the classroom. And it's also that students to enroll in the NGS program, it's not like they can just enroll it, they have to take application and take admission test in order to ensure that they are capable of being in the NGS classroom with the other students.
This is particularly important for foundation subjects like Khmer literature and mathematics. And the principal also said that the new generation schools are designed with subject-specific classrooms, which means that science subjects have a good lab with the right equipment, and also different kind of subjects have different kind of rooms that meets the need of specific students and specific subjects.
The NGS has a distinct difference from traditional schools. So, what are the difference between the NGS and traditional schools in terms of curriculum, accountability, instructions, and governance?
I think about the instruction. First, student NGS provide more innovative and students help with the support of the teachers, professional teacher, and development program based on the reflective teaching model. As you can see that it's really different from the public school that provide the less opportunity for students, different structure, and also strict regulation. Any idea?
Well, they also have high accountability, which means that the student is like autonomous and they support new innovation, and also they have strict rules and strict guidelines for their students. Traditional school also have strict guidelines and rules, but they lack the resources and incentives to experiment their change. So I think NGS is much better in terms of resources and experiment.
Okay, so for the curriculum, the NGS curriculum is mostly focused on practice and doing the experiment. They allow students to do the research on the subject matter like math, physics, biology. Then let the student to practice on their own. Let the student act as engineering. And in another hand, for traditional school, mostly teacher only focus on teaching the student in the classroom and not provide this many tasks for the student to do in terms of experiment or doing research. They just allow students to listen to the teacher in the classroom only.
Yes, and in terms of governance, NGS focus on providing a higher educational standard for students of all social economic status. So every student from different economic status can new generation school just with as long as they pass the admission test. And also they also emphasize on the highly qualified teacher as well to provide students with a substantial and effective knowledge to all students for them to be capable adults, human resources in the 21st century.
Okay, do you guys know how does the NGS foster the 21st century skills such as critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity among the students and the teacher?
For communication skills in NGS schools, they really emphasize on the student ability to do presentation and communicate their findings, such as about the scientific discourse. This involves like writing, report, creating presentation, and also engaging in effective discussion. And they also really emphasize on new technologies such as using digital tools for communications like digital presentations.
Regarding creativity, we know that NGS students are very creative because like teacher usually handle project for students to do. So students are able to create their own stuff, accessory and other handmade stuff or technological stuff as well. So students also obtain the chance to show their own creativity and also sell it as well.
And for collaboration, there are a integration of science and technology like STEM, and also problem solving for students to discuss, collaborate together and discuss and solve problems, also like build any innovative thing together. And they also engage students with evident communication like debate in order to foster collaboration with among students, and also emphasize on interpersonal skill, and also provide students with the opportunity to learn from each other, like collaborative thinking and learning. Teachers also have a chance to share and learn from each other, as well to share resources, what is best to teach their students, to foster them to become to get students to their highest potentials.
Okay, so we know that the MTN also foster critical thinking for the student. Like we already know that the NGS only recruit the higher qualified teacher and personnel in every year. So when the institute have more the qualified staff, so for the staff we're going to share as many experience to the student, and they also create many tasks for the student to operate in their studying. And for those tasks, it's going to foster their critical thinking because it allows students to think outside the box.
And you can see that NGS is really interesting. What do you think about the opportunities or challenges for scaling up or sustaining NGS across the country?
For the opportunity to upscaling the NGS across the country, we can adopt and migrating a spreadsheet. So this is to get data instead of paper-based, and also the implement barcode system to tracking student work or teacher work or anything else. Also, it's also about attendance as well, so they can scan. This is about technology, and they're also building integration like that way and the database to share data across the school, and also leveraging cloud computer system. This is to store data. Yes, for the opportunity.
Yes, and there are also more opportunities. I feel like for example, they can create clear rules and guidelines to make sure that results can be repeated and it can be compared with other schools easily. And it also collaborating with other labs, institutions, and have more networks, and then they can share their resources, their expertise and data, and they can also seek funding from the government and industry to invest in the new generation school infrastructure and innovation.
Based on my idea, the biggest challenge for scaling up the NGS across our country is based on insufficient technology resource. like equipment and also the knowledge. If we're going to scale up the NGS across the country very quickly, so the student at the rural area or the student who live under privilege maybe face a big challenge because they don't have many because they have a limited knowledge related to technology. It can hinder their studying because for the NGS curriculum is focused on the technology.
I heard about the challenges. I also found many of them that when asked about the student from rural area and underprivileged student, I think that it is also one of the challenges because as we know that our country is developing, so there's a lot of poor students. So I think that NGS also in order to access for NGS we have to pay for tuition fee. So for the poor student, I think they cannot afford to access the school. So it provides less opportunity for students to access in learning or education. And moreover, regarding the teacher, also teacher old mindset that they don't adapt themselves into the new transition. And also, as we know that the school have their own teachers, and when we change it into the NGS, so where can the teacher go? Because NGS system is really different. They recruit new teacher every year. So how about the old teacher? Where should they go? So I think it also the challenge is that teacher and also the school itself is really it's really difficult to adapt into the new system.
So I have a more question regarding the NGS. So how does NGS measure and evaluate student learning outcome and teacher development?
For instrument, the NGS also creates many specific instruments for the student to capture the student behavior, attitude, and their performance. Because maybe the NGS want to track how can the student perform in their classroom.
And for my idea for the student evaluation, they can evaluate on project-based assessment. Like for example, they implement project-based to assess their student knowledge and skills to the real-world scenarios, and also evaluate their critical thinking, problem-solving skill, and creativity through project work. For teacher professional development, they administer pre and post assessments to teachers to measure their skills and knowledge before and after professional development. Second point is they conduct regular classroom observation, so they will have some admin to look at the teacher, how the teacher teach, and they regularly do this in order to improve the teacher performance, and then give feedback to teacher if they lack some point. So peer collaboration. So the teacher, they not just work alone, they work together, teachers with teachers. They share their experience, share their resources, share their knowledge and techniques to teach the student, so that they will use the best technique to teach the student.
Regarding the student outcome, I think that NGS consists of the student learning assessment, like standardized test, portfolio, and also performance tasks as well. That it's really easy to see that it's really easy to see from the student achievement. NGS also content of the high rate of student pass the national exam as well.
Feedbacks on questionnaires or Google form or anything like interview to access the student opinion or parent opinion or educator opinion like instructor or the school management about the improvement of the student learning outcome as well.
Okay, you guys, do you know that how does the NGS collaborate with other stakeholders like the MOE, local authority, parent, and other private sector?
Parents are always in line with the school, where they can access for their child information and also follow up with their child learning as well.
So for the NGS, they take the standard from the United States. So they have to align the standard with, they have to keep in mind that this is the implementation in Cambodia, so they need to align the standard with the nation and with the state as well. And also they will seek input and output from various groups to take their opinion to how do I implement this educational program in Cambodia well, and also provide resources and support for teachers because we recruit teacher every year. Teachers are new, so we need to provide support for that to ensure a smooth flow, and also engage in raising awareness in across the nation.
The goal of the NGS and the MOE is the same because they want to improve the quality of primary education. So the NGS has to work very closely with the MOE, and while the NGS also work closely with the local community because especially with the change of the community, because the NGS want to spread the news of their program to the students in the local area to let them know more about the NGS program because so that the student can maybe recruit to the school more. Yes.
As for the private sector, they have 3 partnerships like industry partnership, sponsorship partnership, and also professional development collaboration. So as for industry partnerships, they can benefit opportunities for students such as like mentorship program, real world learning experience, and as for sponsorship and donations, they can have donations from the private sector and to develop their school programs and the school infrastructure, and also developing the NGS school and doing special projects for the school. And as for professional development, they can collaborate with private sector organizations to provide professional development opportunities for teachers.
How is NGS fund and managed?
For the NGS is funded by the combination of sources, including the government, MOE, and the NGS also receive the fund from the private sector, and it also have their own budget to manage the retention and the recruitment of their own staff.
For the benefit of the NGS, not just for students but for the teacher as well, is that this is a student-centered educational program. This is for aiding students, not just for school but for their future job as well, academically, socially, emotionally, and physically. And it is to prepare them for the real life world that they need to face after graduating from high school.
Yes, as for NGS, I think they also provide like a collaborative environment that encourages them to innovate and improve their teaching skills and teaching practices, and also provide teachers with continuous professional development, mentoring and coaching, and they also have competitive salaries to make the teacher more motivated, and they also have like special incentives for teacher as well.
Learn a lot from the NGS program, which I think that is very new in our country context because it focuses on the technology mostly and also STEM that most public schools doesn't have that program.
Yes, I really like that they emphasize on STEM because it's about technology now today.
Thank you guys